Can you tell us what changes Wednesday goes through in this season?
She didn't change. I mean, she knows exactly who she is. Everybody else around her has to catch up. Maybe I think the only thing that's different perhaps is, in first season we saw Wednesday get comfortable with a hug for the first time or someone touching her, which was a very scary thing for her. And then the second season, I think her biggest conflict or challenge is learning to rely on family and friends because she's very independent. But without her ability and with this confused state and dealing with a villain who's much smarter than her, or at least at times, it's hard for her to be dependent on other people.
And, speaking of, not only does Wednesday begin to live with her family at Nevermore Academy, but she also goes through this confusion because she finds herself not being able to use her psychic powers as the way she was able to before. And that must have been quite complex. How did you go about portraying such complex emotions of Wednesday? Especially with her not being the most expressive.
Yes,
person,
I would love to give a thoughtful answer here. I really would. But I don't know. I show up and I do my job. I guess a lot of this season, because I was interacting with other people, it was nice to be able to play off of, talented people like Emma, who were at odds oftentimes. And we also had the wonderful addition of Joanna Lumley, and she added a lot of kind of joy/misery to Wednesday's life. But for me, it's more so you show up on the day and you get a feel for the situation. And as long as you're aware of the character's arc or where she is in that moment in time, these things, they can happen quite naturally.
I think that was indeed a thoughtful answer. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now, speaking of your collaborators, let's talk about Enid. Emma, can you please tell us about the Enid we're going to get to meet in season 2?
Yeah, so the Enid we meet in season 2 is a bit different from season 1. At the end of season 1, she wolfed out, finally unlocked her powers. And so she's had a summer and comes back to Nevermore a different person. She has a lot more confidence in herself, has joined a pack, and is finally part of the life she's always wanted to be a part of. So she's living her best life now.
That's wonderful to hear. Now, as you said, Enid has wolfed out, and she experiences difficulties in relationships as well, and that includes her relationship to Wednesday. How did you go about portraying Enid in such unique circumstances this time around?
Well, I think Enid's a bit confused this season because she assumes that her and Wednesday have passed that weird boundary that Wednesday put up in season 1, and because of Wednesday's premonition, and pushing her away. I think she doesn't quite understand why Wednesday is pushing her away. So, they kind of butt heads a bit this season. But it's always fun working with Jenna because I feel like we have a natural sort of relationship like that. It always just happens naturally. There's no forcing. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Now, we have been talking a little bit about the characters of Wednesday, and I think our conversation reminds us of the many scenes that we saw in part 1 of season 2.